everyone. Matt Malatesta here, our weekly installment of the Greg Cranfill Show. St. Pius X, the Panthers, one of the proud programs in the city of Houston on the private school level. TAPS, I tell you what, man, TAPS is pretty serious. They've got some really great, talented teams across the state. Y'all ran into one this week. Just talk about, how you felt your guys hung in there against St. Thomas, and you kind of even your record inside of TAPS. But just talk about, the game against St. Thomas. What did you think?
Yeah, so, I don't think we hid anything knowing going into this week that it was going to be a tough test. And St. Thomas, they're not ranked second in the state by accident. They've beaten some pretty talented teams along the way. And we knew that it was what we consider a thin ice game, that we were going to fight them. But, if we let a crack begin, that they were going to find a way to exploit it, and we were right there with them 21-10. But I think just the continual pressure that they put on opposing teams eventually got to us. I don't think our kids ever stopped trying to find ways to manage the game and keep fighting. So I was very proud of the effort that we put out. We had some great performances. Issa Baba played well up front for us. Aiden Allen played well for us. All across the board, Travis Pesic played well for us. So we saw kids out there that were out there battling and doing the things that we needed to them. But when you play a team as talented as St. Thomas, that collectively, in all three phases of the game is as talented as they are, we knew it was a tough test, and it proved that they were just as expected. But again, I was happy with the way, Josh Mitchell, our running back, ran for over 200 yards. So we were doing things that we needed to stay in the game. We just weren't at the point right now in this season to take that next step to win those games. And down the stretch, like I said, it was a heavy load for us to carry, in which St. Thomas proved to be the better football team.
You've got Central this week, Central Catholic. Just talk about, where you feel like you guys can make some hay this weekend.
Yeah, so Central Catholic, they've been dealing with the injury bug just like we have, gone through a couple of weeks in which they weren't, at full force, and so has it, the word is that they'll all be back this week, and that usually the way it happens with us. But we feel like we've got a good game plan going in. They're huge up front. They've got some big guys, which they're probably going to try to pound on us. So we've got to do things more manipulative in the fact of how we manage ourselves defensively. And we've got to get stops. That's the one thing that we weren't able to do versus Antonian, and the one thing that we weren't able to do versus St. Thomas. And again, two very talented teams, but guess what? Central Catholic is that way as well. They're a well-coached ball club. And so both offensively and defensively, they're just going to try to put the pressure on you with the mass of humanities that they have up front. But we're going to try to keep the ball out in space offensively, get the ball to our playmakers and allow them the room to do the things that we think that they're capable of doing, and let Bryce manage the game. We felt like Bryce, 12 of 21 is what he went versus St. Thomas. But the fact that he had 4 drops that were key in the game, because they would have continued drives instead of forcing us into the punting situation. So again, we felt like he's played solid the entire year, and we've just got to keep the sticks moving, first down after first down, and then let the explosive plays take care of themselves. Like I said, Central is a well-coached ball club, and they're going to try to keep us from doing that. But we feel like we've got kids and talented kids in position that can make plays. So we're excited about the opportunity. I can tell you that.
And finally, coaches always say, it's never as bad as you think. It's never as great as you think.
No, that's exactly right.
How do you wrap that message into a locker room on a weekly basis? Because it's so true. You're never as good as you think.
Yep.
And on the flip side, hey, you lose a couple games, but hey, we're right in these games.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head. And that's the message that we send, just brutal honesty. You know, our tough love philosophy says, we will not accept you for who you are, only for what you can become. And through that process, we're going to guide you and love you to be the best that you can be. And for us, a lot of that starts in film study. And just to reiterate the point that you have, that when you leave a game and you've won a game, we're going to watch video. And we're going to find the flaws and find the things that we didn't do well. Obviously, we're going to praise the kids for the things that they did great, but we're also going to find the things that we need to improve on, so that when we get in critical situations, that we feel like through our wins and our losses that we have grown as a better football team. And I think that we do that. We watch video from last Friday's game and show our kids how close we are. You know, a catch here, a block here, a tackle here, and it's a totally different scenario. You know, not to say that you know, a block, a tackle, and a catch would have made a difference in the outcome, but it has huge implications on the flow of the game, if you will, to allow us as coaches to keep that the momentum going on offense, and then to get off the field defensively. So for us, it's watching that video going, I want you to understand that we have guys in the position to make the tackle. We've just got to find the right guys that are willing to stick their necks right in the middle of it and wrap a kid up and put him on the ground. And like I said, a lot of that comes down to talent. You know, that quarterback from St. Thomas, the quarterback from Antonian, very, very talented kids. And our kids are in the right position. We just got to find ways to basically bring more people to the party, if you will, and stop putting us in one-on-one situations, and see if we can put people on the ground together.
Very well said. Well, hey, Coach, go get them this week.
Yeah, man.
And I know that, you know, then y'all kind of look to the postseason. We'll talk after this week. Good luck. Have a good week. Coach them up. I think the weather's going to be not great, so, you know, film, I guess.
That's it, man. And just try to find those little pieces to the puzzle that, you know, that a lot of coaches will tell you that nothing is small in what we do, because every little piece has big implications. And that's what our goal and objective is each week. So.
Well, that's Coach Greg Cranfill, St. Pius X. This is Matt with VYPE. We'll see y'all at the games.
Go Panthers.